mō tātou. Maori football Aotearoa today created another piece of a history by playing the New Zealand Defence Forces across both men's and women's teams. The significance of the games today recognise the 100-year celebration of the Chatham Cup, the game played in World War I, and the coming together of two organisations that have service at their core. The teams came together into a 2-day camp with their coaching staff ahead of their match day on Sunday. It gave the teams and the players an opportunity to bond with each other, to re-familiarise themselves with the playing philosophies, but also to continue on their identity built through our Whaiaro program. The Whaiaro program itself is a very important insight into ourselves as Maori within football. This continues to help us to understand how to be Maori and to play as Maori. Coaches called training 2 days before the match day. They were able to cover some of the things that they wanted to. Obviously, with 2 days preparation and only 2 sessions, it was a big challenge for the coaches to get all their messaging across. However, the coaches were able to get a significant amount of information across to the players in order to help them to understand the training sessions and prepare for match day.
Whoever plays there, get here earlier. Do that quicker, whoever plays centre back. Good, patient.
Yeah, just what's kind of expected as a Maori footballer coming into this environment. And yeah, just touching on how we're going to play. It's tough that we've only got, a couple of sessions. But I think the boys that were in Australia, they get it a bit more than the rest, but hopefully everyone can come together and be on the same wavelength come match day. Yeah, it's tough because it's only kind of 24 hours before the game, so tonight was a bit more like work, like volume in terms of workload and that. Tomorrow will be very light, it'll just be set pieces, a warm-up and a little light game at the end. That'll be about it, just corners, attacking free kicks, defensive free kicks, goal kicks, and that'll be about it. Yeah, well, there were obviously boys that were tied up with their competitive winter clubs that weren't available for the Aussie trip, and given the Aussie trip was quite last minute, that was understandable. But now a few of those boys are available, and a couple of the boys from the under-18s team as well have impressed me when Hawaii came over, so they've joined the squad, and it's a bit of a mixture.
Yeah, it was good to see all the girls come into camp. Some familiar faces, some faces that we've not seen in a while. I think we've got the benefit of it being at the end of the winter club season. So fitness levels are good, physicality, mobility is good. This is really about making sure the players are sharp, getting a look at the players, and seeing how best we can prepare and set up for tomorrow. We've got a very short preparation period, so with these 2 sessions we'll be yeah, seeing how best we can set up for tomorrow. The squad is made up of players that have been involved in, even some that are way back from 2019 when we did the Clash of the Cultures against Australia then. Some have been involved in the North versus South series over the last few years as well, and obviously some have come into the fold most recently against Australia and Hawaii as well. So we've got a few young players that are making their debut into the senior program with this event, which is really cool to see. But it's the beauty of this program, it's the power of this program, is that even if you've been involved a few years ago and then you couldn't be involved for a few years for whatever reason, everyone's part of the program, and so it's good to see players coming back into the fold and then back into the program, even if they were only involved a few years ago.
On Sunday we had our games at North Harbour Stadium Oval, out on the Oval. The games themselves were great representations of where our programming is currently at. It gives us an excellent opportunity to review and reflect where and how we can improve our performances when we play other teams or other nations or other organisations. Senior women's game, Maori scored early to take the upper hand. That was further enhanced by scoring 2 more goals that allowed them to control much more of the game, pretty much until the end of the game. Further 2 goals essentially closed out the contest in favour of Maori, but this did not mean a whitewash on the scorecard. In true New Zealand Defence Force fashion, they fought to the very death of the game and scored the final goal of the game, which ended the scoreline at 5-1 Maori. Meanwhile, in the senior men's game, things were quite different compared to the Maori game. After trailing 1-0 at half time, Manawa had to dig really deep to level it up by the end of the game, 2-2. This was quite a shock, not only to the coaching staff, but also to the spectatorship. This meant the game needed to go into penalties to find a result for the trophy. And during the penalty shootout, Rion Werahiko produced another match-winning performance, similar to what he did in Australia in the first test, by stopping one of the New Zealand Defence Force penalties and scoring his own penalty, therefore contributing heavily to securing the victory for Manawa. So at the conclusion of both of the games, both organisations went into the after-match function up in the stadium in one of the lounges, and we conducted our presentations, our speeches. It was a very, very good way to finish it off. We were all able to come together, share, break bread, have a meal together, enjoy each other's company outside of a really intense environment on the field. We were able to have conversation, but we were also able to recognise each other, our efforts during the game, but also our efforts leading up to playing the games. Really special moment, which leads us to establishing this as an annual fixture. An enduring relationship that we've established now with the New Zealand Defence Force, which allows both organisations to play annually against each other for the Mazines Trophy. This we look forward to now as being something that we will continue on into the future.
The female player of the tournament goes to MFA ceremony. And the male player of the tournament, Aotearoa. The NZDF and the MFA went back and forth over a period of about a month, deciding on the trophies for these games, for these enduring games. On our right side we have the MFA Association And on the left side we have the NZDF. This is supposed to be adorning the entrances to all. Right. And then engraved on the wood, you have our logos: the NZDF logo, the MFA logo, and the New Zealand football logo. So the MFA, NZDF, brought together by. And I'm really bad at pronunciation, so I'll get called. This is our women's trophy, and today it is presented to the MFA. Then come back to the last thing I'll say about the trophies is they're both called the Mazines Trophy. They're both called the Mazines Trophy in relation to the football game that was played between the British and the Germans. And the proposed position that was played was at a place called Mazines. So in the 1914 Christmas truce, the British and the Germans got together and played a game of football in a place called Mazines. And the men's trophy this year, by penalty kick.
Scored, it's 1-1.
So to conclude, we'll see you next year, New Zealand Defence Force. Venue and location to be confirmed, but we'll be there.